What's up, YouTube? I'm just, I know it's been a while since I posted something, but I seen something on Facebook that just grinds my gears every time. Guy goes on there, says, hey, I want to go 12s or 13s with my 302. Everybody goes on there. Oh, you need aluminum heads. You need a cam. You need an intake. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need nitrous. You need to put a turbo on it. You need to put a blower on it. It ain't going to go 13s. No, yeah, whatever, bro. Listen, first of all, they split at 500. That comment just gets me going. All right, they split at 500. That just means you can't tune a lawnmower. That means that you're just brain dead to the point where you don't know what causes those motors to split. And I'll tell you what it is. It's RPM. RPM splits those motors. Yeah, I've seen Adam spin his car to $8,000, 7,800 coming out of the burnout box. The car don't make no power past 6,800, but here he is spinning it to $8,000, and it stayed together. It's still living. It's in his car right now. It just came out of Pop's car. Where does this make sense at? You need a cam, and you need to get those E7s and use them as a door stop, and just take those. It's robbing you. And listen. Adam's been 1188 or something like that, 87, 1180s with a stock 302. And when we say stock, it's stock, brother. Heads the oil pan. It is stock. They weren't ported heads at the time. They didn't have a hogged out intake on it. It's a basic combo. Intake, carb, long tubes, a bad motherfucking driver, a T5, a stock clutch, 430s on a 28, and he's letting it eat. That's how he's doing it. What you're trying to do and what he does doesn't ever make sense to people, because if I told you I left at 6,400 RPM, the car won't spin past 6,400. It won't. You put a carburetor on a stock 302 and literally just put it to the deck, it won't spin past 6,400. That's what we're leaving at, 64. If it's got good springs in it, okay, then you could spin it a little harder if you wanted to. The car don't make power past 6,200, 6,300. It doesn't. You don't need to make 400 horsepower to go 12s or 13s. You don't need a dyno to go 12s or 13s. I can't tell you how many people talk about dyno numbers and dyno number, the flow numbers for E7. Like, dude, listen, none of that matters, and it doesn't matter, because there's other things to the equation that you guys aren't taking into account. That dyno doesn't take into account what transmission you're using, what tires under the car, what suspension you're using. It doesn't equate any of that. The dyno number is just a number. The car can make 800 horsepower if it goes 1250s. Where did that 800 horsepower get you? Nowhere. It doesn't. Now, if the car made 150 horsepower and went 850s in a quarter mile, you wouldn't care about the dyno number. But you care because it made 1,000 horsepower and went 950s. Well, guess what? That's slow. It's dog poo-poo. My car is a complete, not even the car, the motor is a completely stock motor, right? From heads to oil pan. It's got 1.7 rockers on it. I lied, right? It's got 440 something lift with the stock cam. It's got no lifting, like 440 or 444 or 4 something like that. And with the lift, it makes it a little, 1.7 rockers, gives it a little more oomph. Woohoo. The car probably makes 230 horsepower. Yeah. 230 horsepower, most likely. If it made anything more than 240, I'd be shocked. But it goes low 12s. Why? Because everything else works. The suspension works. And it's clapped out suspension. I'm talking about the front shocks. I could hold the shock all the way to the tippy top, let it go, and it'll sink to the bottom like you threw a freaking sinking ship in the ocean. Right? It's clapped out suspension. 10-way adjustables in the back. It's a single adjustable strange 10-way. Everybody knows the shock. That they're old. They're old. They've been on the car for years, since 2015 or 16 or something like that. Right? And they came off of 4 other cars. Right? It's just thrown together stuff. The rear has got a chip in the pinion. Right? I was talking in the ring gear. There's a chip in that gear set. Everybody thought it was going to blow up the first 2 pack. Guess what? I still beat the snot out of that car. I beat the snot out of it. Why? Because that's what it's going to take to make it run. All right? These cars at 200 horsepower don't make anything. They don't make power. So what do you have to do? You have to literally drive it on the edge. If you're not willing to do that and you're 3 or 4, 5, 6 tenths off, well, there goes one of your factors. One of your factors is you just don't know how to drive the car. You don't want to drive the car. You have to try and break it. And I can't like, me and Adam talked when I first got my car, right? And it would go like 1460s, and then I finally got into like the 1380s. And I'm like, dude, I'm doing something wrong. And I call him and I said, dude, listen, I need you to help me out. What am I doing wrong? And he goes, you want to know? And I said, yeah. He was like, you're not trying to break it. What? He said, you got to try and break the car. What? He goes, bro, listen, take the panties off, put the grown man pants on, right? Leave that thing at, 60 something hundred, and dump the clutch and drive it. A car picked up 2 seconds and going right into 12s. Went like 1250s or something like that. And it was hot, like 102 degrees outside. Right? When I was going like 1250s with and the hood, I had the stock hood on it at the time, and the hood, it probably clearanced the carburetor by, I don't know, 4 inches, if that. The car just it would kill itself with the stock hood on. I took the stock hood off of it and went right in the low 12s. So there goes a problem right there. The motor can't breathe. It's hot. It's sucking in all hot air. So then I put the scoop on it. With the scoop and everything, ended up going 1217s. And then, the old carburetor started acting up on me. So then I brought the Brawler. Well, guess what? On a no prep surface, the car 60-footed exactly the same what it did on a prep track, and picked up 2 mile an hour to the 8th. That means it's got another 2 mile an hour in it to the 4th. That's 4 mile an hour it has. So instead of it doing 110, it should go 113, 114. That means that the car can go 11s. Simple. It's simple stuff, guys. It's simple. Don't get mad when you see other people doing what you can't do. Just ask. Ask a question. I'm going to tell you the person that Adam has the biggest heart. He's the biggest heart. You know what ticks him off? When people don't listen to him. He tells you what it takes to go that fast, and then you don't listen. Or he tells you how to go that fast, and then you go ask Rob, Ricky, and Gary. And you ask them when they've been 1350s with that same combo. Why are you talking to them? Why does it matter? Why does their opinion matter? This kid has done it. That's my brother. He's done it already. The formula is right in front of you, but you don't want to believe it. You think he's lying, right? And then you see my car, and it does the same thing. I'm a couple of tenths off. It does the same thing. Oh, you know how many people came up to me? Oh, what's done to that car? Oh, it's the stock 302. Yeah, but what cam's in it? The stock cam. All right, well, yeah, well, what heads are on it? The E7s. No, this has got aluminum heads on it. I said, really? Aluminum heads rust? And I popped the hood, and they just look at the car. Well, was it weigh? It's inevitable. It happens every time. What cam's in it? Stock cam. What heads are on it? It's the stock heads. Well, what's it weigh? It weighs 2,800 pounds with me in it. Oh, okay. Dude, get out of my face. Seriously? It's not gutted. Now, you guys might see something gutted here pretty soon, right? You guys might see. You might see it. I've been really, really close, and I've been on this journey where I wanted to take you guys with me, and we would go step by step by step. Listen, man, I'm getting old. I'm 30, and I know some of the old timers are gonna laugh when they hear that, but I'm getting older. I want to have fun. I want to go a little bit faster than what I'm doing now. I got a lot of people talking. They just run their mouth. It's okay. They're oblivious. Oh, it's got heads. It's got cam in it. It's got this, and it is really light. Listen, if I told you I had another 300 pounds to pull out of the car, and I put heads and cam on it, do some math on that. If I pull 300 pounds out of the car and put heads and cam on it, the car better go 10s on motor. And it's going to go 10s on motor. And then on nitrous, it's going to go 9s. Is it going to go 9s right away? No. Is it going to take me a little bit? Of course. Because that threshold from going 1030s, 1020s to 9s is it's hard. Especially when you work with the combination that we have. Right? I mean, like this, it's not easy by any means. Going 11s and 12s, that's fine. Going 11s and 12s is easy. It's that other part. You know, the car's got to work. I got roll-up windows in my car. I'm power windows. That car's heavy. In my eyes, when I look at that car's heavy. That looks like that's a street car to me. All right. But you want a race car. You think it's a race car. I'll show you a race car. And now, when you go, oh, it goes 1070s, 1080s on motor, but it's a race car. You're goddamn right. It is a race car. Put the same combination in your car with that same weight and see what you run. Do it. You're 5/10 off, buddy. You're 5 to 6/10 off. I got a buddy that I mess with. He's got an LS on spray, right? And we talk junk back and forth all the time. But I tell him every time, listen, let me make a pass in your car. You make a pass, right? And then I'm going to jump in the car and run within a tenth or two of what you ran. It's an automatic. It's an LS automatic on nitrous. It's on a timer. It's on a progressive ramp. The computer does all the work. All I got to do is move a shifter. Point the car straight. Get in my car. You're more than half a second off. You get in my car and you'll go 13s. Almost a full second slower. It is what it is. It takes skill. It takes skill, dedication, and you gotta be smart up here, right? I don't have a computer to tell me where the car is breaking loose at. I don't have a drive shaft sensor. I don't have a wheel speed sensor. I don't have any of that stuff. What do I have? I have a temp gauge, a oil pressure gauge, a wideband, right? And the wideband is only an accurate, an accurate, inaccurate reading. That's exactly what it is. It's an accurate, inaccurate reading because that wideband doesn't tell me what's going on in the combustion chamber. But you know what does? That spark plug. That spark plug tells me everything. It sees the detonation. It sees the fuel and the air mix, and it fires off in a piston. It sees all of it. So I tune off of the spark plug, not that wideband. That wideband only tells you half of the story. Yeah. These are little things that you got to take into consideration. And hats off to Adam and Terry. Hats off to you guys. Because without you guys, I will probably be that same person that's on YouTube or Facebook commenting, hey, block split at 500 horsepower. And Adam will look at me and go, you couldn't tune a lawnmower. you have no idea what you're doing. And you know what? Exactly right. But I do have them, and I've learned. And I know what it takes to go that fast now. You have to have your checklist. Let me tell you how crazy I am. Ready? Because if this isn't you at the racetrack, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Your car's never going to progress. When I make a pass, I come back, the first thing I'm doing is pulling the hood off of the car if I have it on there. And I'm pulling plugs. I'm going to start with the hottest cylinder first. I'm going to pull that plug, and I'm going to read it, and it's going to tell me what I need to do. And then I'm going to watch a video because I always have somebody videotaping the car. Not the left side of the car, the right side of the car. And I'm going to watch the video and find out what's going on in the suspension. Is it hitting the tire? Is it anti-squatting? Did I shift it at the 60 foot, before the 60 foot, or on the 60 foot? Did it move at all? Is the car pulling? As a driver, when you're in the car, you can't, not everybody can do it. Some people can. I can't. I'm not too proud to admit it, right? When I drive the car, I can't tell you what happened. I can tell you little things, right? But the data, what the car is telling you, you have to pay attention to this stuff. And everybody looks at me like I'm crazy because I got a 12-second car, but I'm looking at the spark plugs, and I'm making sure that the carburetor's right. I'm looking at the mile an hour, the 60 foot. I'm looking at the 330. I'm looking at all of it. Why? Because I want the car to steadily get faster. I don't care if it only goes a tenth faster or if it goes a half a second faster. I want to know why. If it's slowed down, I want to know why. Is the track not there? Did it not 60 foot as hard as the other pass? What's the track temperature like? Is it 108 degrees or is it 102 degrees outside? Is the track surface 120 degrees or is it 80 degrees? What made it slow down? What's the DA? What are the water grains? Is the scoop helping it get air or is it hurting it? All right. I just found out recently that me and Adam talked for a little bit. He goes, dude, you got a problem with the car, and I didn't catch it before. I said, what? He goes, your scoop's sitting too far. It's not sitting high enough. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you ain't got a velocity stack on it. He said, it's sitting under the hood. And I go, yeah. And he goes, you're robbing yourself of power. That doesn't have a clear access into the hood scoop. And then I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Now that I think about it. He goes, dude, you got to buy the velocity. It's like $10. Ordered it. Cool. No problem. How you want me to do it? Oh, you got to make sure it's, tied down this way and do it like this. But that, will help the air come straight into the scoop and go right into the ventures. It helps the signal, right? It helps it. It boosts the signal. Am I running the spacer on it or not? Right? Like there's There's a million things you could be doing to help you progress. Tire pressure, right? When the car leaves, is it black tracking the tire or is it skipping? Right? These are little things that you gotta look at. And if you aren't doing these things, you're not helping yourself. You're going out there and racing a car and you're just racing it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to advance and learn and know what your car is doing and most importantly, why it did it, then you need to take the steps that are given to you, right? You need to take the information that you're gathering from the racetrack, right? By video, by feel, by smell, by seeing what the spark plug is, what it's doing, what the wideband's saying, all right? All of that stuff, it takes a big equation to come out with a formulated answer, right? There's a formula for everything. So hopefully this helps some people realize and understand that there's always room to improve to the next level, right? But don't get upset when you see somebody running a number with less than what you got. One, it just means that there's something in your program that you're not doing to elevate you to the next level. That's pretty much it. Or you're listening to the wrong people. I can't tell you that when I go to the racetrack, I don't like people around me. And it's sad that I'm like that, but I don't want 15 guys around me when I'm working on my car because I get distracted too easy, and I know that about myself, right? I don't need somebody that I know, right? If we know each other, right, and we're friends, right? And this goes for anybody on YouTube, right? If you ever meet me in person and we're talking and we're cool, right, and we're chit-chatting, and that's fine. When I'm working on my car, I'm a different person. Give me a few minutes, dude. I'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. Let me focus on this. I've learned my lesson because while people are talking to me, I'm not thinking. Or if something's wrong with the car and you're listening to 30 other opinions, but you don't trust what's in here, and you start listening to them, and the car goes slower. Now you're backtracking. You're trying to go faster. You're listening to them. The car goes slower. Why? Because you didn't go through your mental checklist. You're not focusing on all the other little things that make the car go fast. You don't take into account any of that. The car shouldn't run the same number in the heat of the day than it does at night. There's no reason for it. In the heat of the day at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and it's 90 degrees outside, and a car goes 1230s, and at 7 o'clock, the sun's down, it's 10 degrees cooler outside, and you go out and a car goes at 10:30 or a 12:30 again. That means there's something wrong. You didn't take into account the air temperature. The air's better. The track's cooler. You can get more aggressive. These are little things that I think about all the time. But most people don't, right? The fast guys do. You'll see the fast guys, the radio guys, the lights out, LDR guys, right? They'll make a pass in the heat of the day. Try to get the car to go down there. And what that means is if the car goes down in the heat of the day, at night, they can turn it up. They can turn it up, and they know that if it takes this in the heat of the day, when the track cools off and the air cools off, I got 2/10 in my back pocket or 3/10 in my back pocket. Grudge guys do it too. If a grudge guy goes out in the heat of the day and the car goes down the track, he comes back around and he goes, that motherfucker's going to be 4/10 faster or 3/10 faster. And because they know. So I hope this helps somebody. Maybe it didn't help anybody. Maybe I'm just ranting. But I felt like I had to make the video. And, I'd like your input on it. If you guys got some type of input you want to put into the comments and tell me like little things that you do at the racetrack that maybe I don't do, drop some knowledge on me. Any knowledge is great knowledge, but it's the people that don't want to learn and don't see that, there's always room for improvement. And if you can't see that, you're going to fail. And it's okay if you don't want to go faster. If you're content of going 1330s or 1340s and you're content with that, good job. I know I always want to go faster though. And it doesn't matter how fast, as long as it's going faster. So I hope everybody has a good day, good night. Appreciate you guys stopping on in. And hopefully I got something good for you guys here pretty soon. Have a good night.